King Arthur. A name that conjures images of gleaming armor, the magical sword Excalibur, and the noble knights of the Round Table in the grand court of Camelot. We all know the legend, but what if I told you the real story is far more mysterious and perhaps even more fascinating? Today, we're peeling back the layers of myth to search for the historical man behind the legend. Was there a real Arthur? Let's find out. To begin our quest, we need to travel back in time, not to a fairy tale medieval kingdom, but to the dark and turbulent 5th and 6th centuries. This period, often called the Dark Ages, was a time of chaos in Britain. The Roman Empire had withdrawn its legions, leaving the native Britons vulnerable to invading Anglo-Saxons from across the sea. It was a desperate fight for survival, for land, and for a way of life. This is the world where the story of Arthur begins. The earliest texts that mention him don't speak of kings and castles. Instead, they describe a formidable warrior, a dux bellorum, or leader of battles. A 9th century Welsh text called the Historia Brittonum lists 12 battles fought by Arthur against the Saxons. It describes him carrying the image of the Virgin Mary on his shoulders and single-handedly striking down hundreds of enemies at the climactic Battle of Mount Badon. This isn't a king holding court. This is a gritty, battle-hardened commander leading the British resistance from the front. So who was he? A Roman-British general holding on to the last vestiges of civilization? A local chieftain who rose to unite the warring British tribes? The truth is, we don't have a definitive answer. No contemporary source from that time actually names him. His name, Artorius, is Roman, which suggests he might have come from a family with Roman ties. But his legend is purely Welsh and British. He's a figure shrouded in the mists of a forgotten age, a symbol of defiance against overwhelming odds. Over the centuries, storytellers and poets took this kernel of a warrior hero and began to weave the incredible tapestry of legend we know today. French poets in the 12th century added Lancelot Guinevere and the concept of courtly love. The quest for the Holy Grail came later. Camelot, Excalibur, Merlin. Each element was added, layer upon layer, transforming the gritty war leader into the ideal Christian king. So while the shining Camelot we dream of likely never existed, the spirit of Arthur, the spirit of a leader who stood against the storm to protect his people, might just be the most real part of the entire legend. The historical Arthur may be lost to us, but his story continues to inspire. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history and myth. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the past. See you next time.